Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel today. Today we are going to be unpacking everything that happened today at Auto Club Speedway in Southern California. First on the agenda, we're going to be discussing the Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott incident that happened pretty late in the race. I think there was like 20 to go when all of this happened. Chase Elliott comes up behind Kyle Larson and Joey Logano with a huge run. I mean, you can watch. He had a massive run coming up behind the 5 car. And, I would have done the same exact thing. There was a pretty good amount of space from Larson toward the wall. And he took his opportunity and went to the outside. And, Larson says he didn't know he was there. He didn't see that he was coming. But all in all, he door slams Chase Elliott into the outside wall. And you know me, being a Chase Elliott fan, I'm trying to be pretty, unbiased with this opinion, but it just sucks because, I don't know how. I know everything's happening really quick, so maybe he didn't see him, but I don't understand how the spotter doesn't relay that to him that, hey, the 9's coming up behind you. The 9 has a big run coming up behind you, and then Larson said in the post-race press conference that the spotter said, outside, at the last second. And I'm just like, why did the spotter not relay that information that the 9 was coming behind him as well? And, Chase Elliott obviously got the raw end of the deal there. I'm not really sure how you can blame him. I mean, yeah, he took it 3 wide, but he had tons of space on a track that's 5 lanes wide, 6 lanes wide sometimes. So, obviously, you all can tell where I stand there, and I just think it was kind of also very rude and disrespectful that Larson didn't even mention the incident in the post-race interview on the front stretch. They asked him about he's like, some people had their misfortunes today. We definitely didn't have the fastest car. And I'm like, okay, well, you could at least mention, I'm sorry that I got into my teammate. I didn't mean to door slam him into the wall and go on about my day. But I didn't like how that was handled. I didn't like that he didn't even mention it one time. And I know that I sound like I'm whining right now and that I'm crying. But, it's just kind of the respectful thing to do. A lot of drivers, if they mess up, they admit it. They're like, okay, I messed up. I hate that for those guys. Glad we got the win, but I hate it for those guys, especially your own teammates. So I'm sensing some bad blood between those two. I'm going to be honest and say that they're both pretty much the top dog at Hendrick. I would say Larson has edged out over Elliott, and I'd say that somewhere that probably bothers Chase Elliott a little bit, but it wouldn't me too. I know you don't want to be jealous of your teammate, but you're the top dog. You win a championship, and then in comes Kyle Larson and steals your thunder pretty much, and wins championship, wins like 7 or 8 races, maybe 9. And, definitely would bother me somewhere deep down inside if I was Chase Elliott. So, interesting to see what happens with that going forward. I really don't think anything's going to come out of it. I don't think Chase Elliott spun out on purpose either, but if he did, that's pretty hilarious. And props to him for that. I don't really care if anybody thinks that that's wrong, but, he got done dirty, so I don't see the problem with him losing it and spinning out. That's kind of a good segue to what I want to talk about next, and it's that these cars were really hard to drive all day long. Actually all weekend. We saw multiple cars spin out on their own over the seams in the track, and the cars they weren't able to hold on to them. And we saw guys getting into each other, spinning out on their own, and it was just, I don't know, it was good to see that they were having a handful. Obviously, I don't want to see people wrecking left and right. And there was a time in the race where I was like, man, come on. Can we not get this together? Like, we're Cup Series drivers. Keep the car straight, and let's finish this thing up. But I have to say, I really liked the product that I saw out there on the track today, and that the cars were really hard to drive was a good sign because, it's the Cup Series. This is the highest form of stock car racing on the planet. And these cars should be hard to drive. They should have a handful, and they should have to show their talent while they're trying to control these cars. So, I hate to see the cars that were tore up, but it was good to see that these guys were having their hands full driving. out there all day long, and it really put on for a good show. So the 8 car was absolutely dominant all day long, but unfortunately he had a left rear tire go down late in the race and was never able to recover. Got hit pretty hard by the 24 car, and that kind of pretty much, made a bad situation worse, and he was never able to get back up there. However, the 3 car ended up finishing second, I think, second or third, I think it was second, which was a really good sign for Richard Childress Racing, because the 8 car was the fastest, in my opinion, all day long. If he had not have had an issue, I think that he would have pulled out the victory. And it's just unfortunate for those guys that they weren't able to get a good finish out of that. But if I'm RCR, I'm looking at this, and I'm very happy with what my team was able to show today. So, good showing by RCR. However, unfortunate the 8 car wasn't able to get a better finish. But we'll see what they can do going forward. The 43 car, he was right there all day with the 8 car. He was, top 5 all day long. Kind of felt like he would come out of the restarts really slow, but then he was able to get back up there in a couple laps once he got his car underneath him. And, I thought there for a minute he was going to make a charge at Larson, but I think he ran out of time. But it was nice to see Petty GMS having a solid day. I think Ty Dillon ran inside the top 20 too, which is good to see for him as well. But, the 43 car being in the top 5 all day long was something that I've really never seen in my lifetime, to be honest with you, because, we had the early 2000s. I really wasn't old enough to pay attention that much. And then, Eric Almirola drove the 43, and then Bubba, and they've just had a really rough last 15, 20 years, I would say. So to see them in the top 5 all day long was really good. And shout out to Eric Jones. Eric Jones is one of the most underrated drivers in the field, in my opinion. I really hope to see him succeed going forward, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Petty GMS can do the rest of the season. Another team that looked really solid today I want to give some props to was Trackhouse. Daniel Suarez, I thought he was going to pull away and win right there, but he had to get out of the gas coming off of 4, and that allowed Larson to shoot underneath him on the front stretch and get the lead back. But Daniel Suarez looked really, really, really good all day long. Had a chance to win there at the end. And Ross Chastain also was in the top 10 as well, until I think he spun out on his own, and I don't think he was able to recover after that because it was really late in the race. So unfortunate that the 1 car didn't get a good finish, but they were in the top 10 all day long. And Daniel Suarez, who, just like Eric Jones, both of those drivers, both drove for Gibbs, both got let go for other people. And I think they're really getting a chance now to show that they have what it takes to compete in the Cup Series on a top-tier level. And I think we're going to see Daniel get a win this year, and I definitely think that we'll see Petty GMS getting a win this year as well. Or if at least finish top 10, top 5 consistently like that. So that was good to see. And I think this is a good sign for NASCAR going forward that, the teams aren't dead even, but like the drivers that are good are going to get the most out of their car and get it done. But it's given these teams like Petty and Trackhouse a chance to close the gap a little bit. And I think they're really taking full advantage of that. Aside from that, the racing today was absolutely great. I thought this was one of the best non-super speedway, non-short track, road course type thing. Just a simple 2-mile track that's big, a lot of lanes to race with. And I thought this was one of the best non-super speedway races that we've seen in a long time. I really liked what I saw today. I thought that the cars were able to race wherever they wanted to. One thing we didn't hear all day was dirty air. We heard side drafting a little bit, but I'm not really sure how effective it really was. But no dirty air today, and it was really good to see that. It was good to see the cars using up every inch of the racetrack that they could. And it was good to see them be able to race each other without getting loose and spinning out just because of the air. So next week, I think, will be the first true test at Las Vegas. That's the first 1.5 miles on the schedule, and we're really going to see how effective this new car is on the cookie cutter track. So I'm looking forward to Las Vegas. Let me know what y'all thought about the race today, and give me your opinion about the Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson incident. If you do so, please. Don't be afraid to piss me off. That's the fun of it. We all can argue back and forth, so let's not be mean. But let me know what you all thought about the race today. Let me know what you all think about Las Vegas coming up, if you think that the new car is going to put on a good show there as well. Really good race today. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what NASCAR can do for the rest of the season. So that's going to do it for me. Reach up there and hit that like button and subscribe if you all want to see more. Thank you all for watching. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one.